Hello, my name is Chandan Singh Sabarwal and I once again welcome you to my channel Cosmic Effect. Today I am going to be starting a new series regarding the gemstones of each of the Navgrahas, where I will be discussing each of the 9 gemstones or the Mahanavratnas in detail, and I will be explaining about their various varnas and how we can decide which shade we want to wear, because each gemstone is available in a multitude of shades, and most of the astrologers do not have an idea about the varnas, and even the people selling the gemstones in the market in places such as leading jewelers or people who are actually doing gemstone business for a profit, they do not actually know the importance of the shades of the gemstone, and for them all rubies are the same or all diamonds are the same. So it is very important for us to understand that why there are different shades in a gemstone, and what does it mean, and how we can use this to our advantage, and why we should go for a particular shade, and how the particular shade will affect us. And believe me, since I'm a certified gemologist and I have been kind of experimenting and wearing gemstones since maybe 7 to 8 years, I have personally seen the results of each and every different type of varna, that how the results actually change when the same gemstone is worn but with a different shade. So let's start today with the gemstone of Surya, graha or Sun, which is known as ruby. So ruby gemstone primarily occurs in red, and the purest form or the highest qualities of ruby are those which have the color of the pigeon's blood, or they are of the shade of the pomegranate seed, which is deep red, blood red in color. And these rubies are basically Kshatriya varna, because Sun himself is a Kshatriya or warrior, and it is very apt that the highest quality of ruby should match his temperament and his personality. So the rubies that are actually deep red and they are intense red in color, these are the Kshatriya varna. Pink rubies are the Brahmin varna. Rubies which are more of a shade that is, when you combine red with a little bit of blue, you get an off reddish shade, something that is maybe not really towards violet also, but a little bit, it has a reddish hue, but it has the bluish influence also. These rubies are your Vaishya varna, and rubies that are extremely dark red in color, dull in color, and they have black markings or black spots, or they have a lot of dull appearance. These are your Shudra varna rubies. So Shudra varna rubies are extremely cheap, and they are easily available, because some parts of the rock or the sediment where the crystal occurs naturally in nature, some parts are extremely, it is not of much value. So all these parts, when they are cut and processed, they basically form the Shudra varna. The lightest parts of the gemstone, which have more of white color present in them, so white color, when it is mixed with red color, you get a pinkish tone. So these are your pink rubies, which are your Brahmin varna rubies. Intense red is your Kshatriya varna, and some blue pigment mixed with red. So these will give you your Vaishya varna. So now, how do we decide, or how do we understand these different varnas? Brahmin varna should be worn when the sun is placed in Jal Tattva, Rashis, Navamsas, or is inclined towards Jal Tattva professions or activities. So people who are having Surya associated with 10th house, with Lagna, with 5th house, and they are into academics, they are into some kind of learning, some kind of knowledge, some kind of vocation where they are teaching or researching, or they are into deeply into religious activities, they are into some kind of temple or organization where religion is involved, or spirituality, they are pursuing spirituality. So such people should wear the Brahmin Varna Ruby, because their natural inclination is towards spirituality, towards learning, towards knowledge, towards Sattva Gun. So, wearing such rubies will amplify the response of the sun in the chart, and when the sun is naturally doing such things, wearing that particular shade will give him a boost in a correct way. If you wear a different Varna Ruby for a person who is inclined towards the Brahmin Varna type duties, then what will happen is that suddenly he will start feeling some energies that he is not naturally inclined towards. So, for example, if a person who is into teaching, into spirituality, into, if he's a professor or something, and he wears a Kshatriya Varna red color ruby, because normally if you go to the jeweler or the gemstone guy who's selling gemstones or on online sites, you will just find that, okay, there are so many rubies, so you pick a one that matches your budget, or sometimes you get attracted to a particular shade and you just want it, and it turns out to be a Kshatriya one. So suddenly you will start feeling all that anger, you will start fighting over unnecessary things, and that sense of dharma will be very strong in you. So you will, unnecessarily you will just think about right and wrong, and how you should take a stand and all these things. So you will not really be focusing much on your academic or spiritual pursuits. If you wear a Kshatriya, if you wear a Vaishya Varna, so you will start thinking in terms of monetary, influences will start to come on you. So you will start to think everything from a financial aspect. If you start, if you by chance wear a Shudra Varna Ruby, then you will probably think that, I am not doing the right thing. Maybe I should just work somewhere and, get my money, and I should maybe do some service, or maybe you will get an offer from somewhere who will offer you a position, and you will, if you're doing something independent, you will want to leave that and go and work for someone else. So the tendencies are, enforced upon by the gemstone pertaining to the particular varna that they are corresponding to. So it is very imperative that we find what varna or what inclination the planet is doing in the chart, and accordingly we wear that gemstone. So Brahmin Varna I have discussed. Kshatriya Varna is for all those people who are engaged in sovereign, who are engaged in bureaucracy or diplomacy or external affairs, or who are into any position in relating to the on a government basis, who are in defense field, in the army, navy, in the air force, who are in the CISF and all these kind of BSF, all these kind of things, who are related to the state police and so on. So all these people who are individual private security contractors and so on, who are providing security services, bodyguards and all these kind of people who are basically into actually defense and all these things which require physical efforts, arms and ammunitions, or some kind of martial arts. So all these people, physical activities that involve physical effort, or activities which demand fighting and all these kind of things. So these people will be better off wearing a Kshatriya Varna Ruby, because natural inclination of the sun is like that, and it will only benefit the position of the sun in the chart. People who are into goods and services relating to sun, so people who are involved in the trade of wheat, people who are involved in the trade of copper, people who are involved in the trade of all agricultural products that are grown from the earth, food grains and cereals and all these kind of things, fruits also, people who are into metals, people who are offering some kind of services to the government. So for example, if a person has a contract with the government of India, railways, or if a person has a contract with the government of India, Air India, or any situation where you are directly dealing with the government on a contractual basis, on a financial basis, so all these people can wear the Vaishya Varna Ruby, because the sun is now expressing himself through financial aspect. And all those people who are working in sun related industries, pharmaceuticals, or people who are working in south direction, because sun is also lording the south direction, people who are working again in some way or the other with the government, or they are directly as I said, IAS, IPS, all these positions, bureaucrats. So all these who are working with the government directly, they again can wear the Shudra Varna because their natural inclination is to work with the sovereign for the sovereign, and so directly the sun is doing something like that in the chart. So if they go ahead and wear that particular Varna, they will maybe get a promotion, and little bit difficulties that the sun might be facing due to some adverse planetary aspects, or maybe because of some loss of Shatbal or some other conditions in the chart. So all those can be, kind of the sun can get the help that he needs with the help of the gemstone. But once again, as I previously mentioned in my other video on gemstones, that gemstone should only be worn for benefic, auspicious, and planets that are naturally wanting to help us. They are benefic for us. They are wanting to do good for us. So when we wear a gemstone, we are boosting the response of the planet in the chart. So if we wear a malefic, we will boost the inauspicious effects, and we will actually be inviting troubles for us. So in fact, we should be donating for inauspicious planets, and we should be accepting or wearing the benefic ones. So I hope that you found this video to be useful, and I am sure that with the knowledge I have given you, you can choose the right amount of you can choose the right varna of gemstone, and hopefully this video will help you. Please do subscribe to our channel, and also do check out the links in the description box. I wish you all very good luck. Thank you.